So happy to be here with you today, talking about, of course, my absolute favorite subject, and that is self love, but specifically how to create a self love lifestyle. So, first, I want to talk about why it's essential to create a lifestyle rather than just to create opportunities for exercising self love. I've spoken about it a little bit before, but today I want to dive in a little bit deeper and make certain that you're really understanding these concepts. Because as we go forward, of course, what we are capable of taking in and sharing in our lives is going to change. And the reason for that is that there's a vibrational frequency that is actually created. It's one you have never experienced before, at least not in this lifetime, as you. And that vibrational frequency is one which is going to, well, let's just say, open the door to give you access to all the greatest aspects of you, the gifts that you are here to share, the gifts that you are here to participate in creating. And so it's this vibrational frequency that is established based on how often you show up for yourself, number one, but also, and this is huge, it's like how much of your authentic being are you expressing? So we're talking about creating a lifestyle that has the capacity to literally change your whole life, your whole existence. And I know I can speak to this from authority because I've done it myself. And I've been very privileged to be able to help people all over the world to do it for themselves as well. So, this vibrational frequency that I'm referring to, of course, is one that's of a very high frequency. It's filled with light because it is filled with the divinity of you. And this is something that a lot of people sort of miss when they're talking about self love. They don't necessarily understand that self love is the process of uncovering this truth about yourself. And so when we're looking at self love, it must come from this place of accepting, first and foremost, that you are a divine being, you are a creative force. And in fact, you do create all things in your reality. They flow through you, they don't flow around you, they don't flow um, from any other source except you. But it's you in terms of being open to receive and open to explore and open to experience. So, I want to talk about how you get to that place because it takes courage. It takes great courage. And again, I can speak from experience with a certain level of authority here because I know the level of courage that it takes to step up for yourself when you have been programmed your whole life long not to do that. You've been programmed to acquiesce your power, to be conditioned to respond and react to life rather than taking the initiative to create. In fact, we might even say that you've been dummied down. I'm sure that you've heard that phrase before, and it's true. It's true. I was dummied down. I was made to believe that I remember very early on, that there were only certain careers that I could have as a woman. And I've talked about this and laughed about this so often. And it's not that there was anything wrong with those things. It was just that, well, number one, I had greater potential than that. But number two, it wasn't my destiny. And so when we talk about this courage that it takes to unfold, to reveal the real, true, authentic you, we're talking about stepping into, again, this frequency of energy where at the forefront of it is you, sometimes against all odds, because those programs and that conditioning goes very, very deep, and it's insidious, and it's often masqueraded as other things, and so we don't even recognize it. But what we do recognize often is that we're just sort of following the crowd, wanting what everybody else wants, or trying to contort ourselves to fit in when fitting in is really the last thing that we should be doing, because it's contrary or out of sync or unaligned with who we came here to be and what we came here again to experience and to share. Because ultimately, everything that we experience, we are meant to share. We're here together, and we're here together because we learn from each other. Have you ever had an experience, for instance, when you start to recognize that simultaneously you can be both the teacher and the student? And this happens when our hearts are open and we're open to both receiving and to giving. And it's like the breath, it's like the in breath and the out breath, and there's no real separation. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's called being in the flow, in truth, of your divinity, in truth, in your authentic being. There would be no disruption of that. You are just giving and you are receiving and you're giving and you're receiving. So you can see why it takes courage. But here's what I want to promise you: that courage is something that you can develop, right? It's like a muscle that you strengthen at the gym. You can start by taking small steps, small bites of courage. One of the things I know that is necessary is that you trust that, number one, what I'm saying is true, but also number two, that you trust that this is your destiny too. And given that of course the universe is going to provide everything that you need to bring it to fruition. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. So this trust, I talk about it as being just a temporary necessity. That's it. You need only to trust for a short amount of time. And then you step through this portal, over this threshold, and the universe can supply all the evidence that you need to really embrace this truth about you. So, my message to you today is give yourself permission to be courageous. You don't have to earn it. If you feel like you need to practice it, go right ahead. But above all things, know that you deserve to be this living expression of the divine within you. That is your birthright. It's the gift that is being given you and the gift that you are then giving to others, to this world that so desperately needs you. So, with that, I'd like to leave you with an affirmation, and that is I am. I am already all that I need to be. And should I need the courage to express it, I already possess that courage as well. So you are complete and whole. Practice taking that in. I am complete and whole. And watch what happens when you start to align your actions with that belief. And again, if you need to practice being courageous to really embody that, you go right ahead. No one will stop you, except, of course, yourself. So, with that, I'm encouraging to just continue to explore how can you love yourself enough to show up for yourself, be courageous enough to create this self-love lifestyle that will carry you through anything that's in your future and take you exactly where you need to be. So much love to you. I'll see you again here next week. And again, please leave your comments, questions, anything at all beneath. It's so good to know that you're resonating with what I'm sharing with you. And if not, help me to redirect so I can give you exactly what you need. Because from my perspective, this is the most important aspect of your life. Okay, bye bye now. Many blessings to you.